force and momentum that continues the scattering until they're at a certain concentration where there's no more driving force for an equilibrium state, right? So it's a little bit of the same thing here. I cannot draw energy from a scattered state to be gathered. Meaning, I cannot draw power from a scattered state to cause gathering. Let's give you a verse here.
Did I write that verse down somewhere?
Now I messed that up. Okay, it's in my notes on the...
I didn't have that. Acts. Did I write Acts chapter 2 down at all? I don't think I did.
Oh yeah, here's Acts chapter 2. Okay, so... the verse I'm looking for is in Daniel 12:7.
I heard the man dressed in linen who was above the waters of the river, as he raised his right hand and as his left toward heaven, and swore by him who lives forever, that it would be for a time, times, and half a time, as soon as they finish shattering the power of the holy people, all these events will be completed.
Okay, mine says, this is Daniel 12:7 at the end, time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So, the holy people being scattered, does that increase their power or decrease their power?
Decrease.
Yeah, it decreases their power. This is a decrease in power. Okay, so if I have a battery with less power, I can't do more with it. I can't recharge a battery from a battery that's being reduced, right? It doesn't, not the same battery. So that's kind of what's going on here. All that really can happen is and this point, this is Darren talking right now, is it the more I talk about unity, guess what that's going to do? It's just going to scatter us more, right? Because of some of the dysfunction that's going on and all, like the effort will just cause more scattering. That's kind of how it feels like. I'll just write that down as kind of a feeling verse here, or a feeling step. It's like, feels like, oh, that didn't work out. Applying more effort and unification just scatters us more. Okay, so we're not going to artificially try to do that. We have to look and see what, I don't know how far I'm going to get in this, but because I hadn't planned on talking about this. But it kind of looks like if we have all three, we have three people here. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1 is the Spirit. Could be the Holy Spirit. Could be our spirit. 2 is lap 1, the hot group that's waiting. And 3 is those from the hot group and the cold group who are going to receive the frequencies that are emitted. So why am I talking about this? Because is this happening from a scattered state or a gathered state? It's happening from a gathered state. Acts chapter 2. Let's go back to Acts chapter 2. Yeah, read Acts 2:1 and 2:2 again.
When the day of Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place. That's
a gathered state. Yeah, so basically, it's just kind of a question. So maybe today we can kind of pose the question, what is the next step? And maybe I have it somewhere in my notes, but the thing is this, it looks to me like if you identify 3 groups of people here, those that are going to receive the frequencies on the earth, those that are waiting to receive the Spirit, and then you have the Spirit. It's like who's acting first? And which group acts first? No pun intended, right? Book of Acts. Acts first. It's a difficult question because then these folks gathered in one accord, right? The hot group on the ground. They're waiting. And this was, why don't I do this A, B, and C here? That way we don't confuse with the group numbers. Okay, so this is B. Hot group on the ground. A is descending. Spirit on top of them. So from looks of this, it seems like both groups kind of have to align themselves together, A and B, right? The B has to gather and wait, and A has to be ready to descend. And yeah, so that's my question. I look to see where I have 400 sections in my book, 400 plus sections in my book, and I know I've talked about scattering. I don't know if I could find it really quickly. Maybe not. Because I don't have a chapter on it. There's sections talking about scattering in the different chapters. I'm sure it's not in that. One of the issues, I've been teaching long enough now, and I have so much stuff. It's like trying to get to some of the stuff I had is scattering. I wonder what that section is. Protagonist, antagonist. Okay.
That's 118. Right there in Sand Vegas. You could look there and see if I have anything. Anything helpful here?
Sorry.
I could just read a little bit. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4:27 through 31. Why don't you read that for us, David?
Okay.
Sorry.
The Lord will scatter you among the peoples, and you will be left few in number among the nations where the Lord drives you. There you will serve gods, the work of man's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. But from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you search for him with all your heart and with all your soul. When you are in distress and all these things have come upon you, in the latter days you will return to the Lord your God and listen to his voice. For the Lord your God is a compassionate God. He will not fail you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant with your fathers, which he swore to them.
Okay, thank you. So we kind of got one of the next steps. So this deals with B here. B is the hot group on the ground. And so what's going to happen according to this verse in Deuteronomy?
Well, who was this talking?
This is Moses. Moses wrote
Okay.
the Pentateuch, first 5 books. So, from a scattered state, and this is the answer for, this is B, the hot group on the ground. What are they going to do in this situation? They're scattered. They don't have power to regather themselves, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's let's go preach unity. You know, well, it's just probably going to scatter us more. So what's happening here is in this verse is it's telling us that tribulation gets worse, and the cry out to God gets worse. You know, I teach that we're already in tribulation. We've been in tribulation for 2,000 years since Jesus ascended. So the tribulation gets worse and worse. It finally reaches a point that the hot group cries out to God.
And God responds. And isn't that kind of how that was happening in Egypt, right?
So this is the key right here, is that the tribulation gets worse. So that's the key in right there in the next sort of step in regathering, is that that's going to be the key. The initiating key now is this crying out from the tribulation getting worse and worse, but the power that comes to regather has got to come from God. So.